What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got another rules roundup for my lovely friends over at the Transformers trading card game. So let's talk about some ruling, shall we? Starting off, Razorclaw. Now, Razorclaw in bot mode has a rather lovely little ability whereby when you flip to this mode, you can attack untapped characters as though they were tapped. Well, what is the deal with Micromasters, who of course all have stealth while untapped? The answer is Razorclaw still can't attack them, assuming there are other valid targets. Because, okay, you can still attack tapped characters, but the Micromasters still have stealth, which means they cannot be attacked when untapped as long as there are other valid targets. Now, if you look at the tournament rules document, I have done a video about it, I'll try and remember to link it in the description. There are all kinds of rules for what if you forget to draw a card at the beginning of your turn. But what happens if you forget to draw a card at the beginning of your turn, but you don't realise until after combat flips have occurred? Because of course, let's say you flip something like Peace Through Tyranny, well that's a double orange icon, that is a huge boost to you when you're attacking. But you should have drawn into Peace Through Tyranny at the beginning of your turn. You shouldn't have flipped that double orange icon. And then a related question, how does this work in relation to things like Private Fire Drive, for instance, who, when you attack, draws a card? Because at this stage, you're drawing cards in the wrong order. And the answer is, as long as it's the same turn, the player should just draw the card when the error is noticed. It usually doesn't matter if the card they draw isn't the card they would have drawn had they drawn at the right time. However, if the player has gained knowledge of the top card of their deck or manipulated it in some way, let's say for argument's sake with plan, you can back up if possible or come to another mutually agreed upon solution, such as drawing the second card of your deck. If you're in a tournament, however, you should always notify a judge who should be able to correct the error. It doesn't matter whether the draw is from the normal start of turn, a triggered ability, or something else, think an action card like Pep Talk. The rules are essentially the same. Draw as soon as you notice, unless it's going to be an issue. If you're in a tournament, however, you should always call a judge over, and the judge should be able to work it around. Usually they should be able to reverse it. Fingers crossed, eh? So Dreadwing Sky Destroyer pops up a lot in these rules roundups because it can have 2 weapon slots, 2 armor slots, and 2 utility slots, which means you can combine a bunch of stuff to cause problems we've not thought about. But actually, we're worried about the combining here, not all of the extra upgrades. So if we have a look at Dreadwing, you can see the combining mechanic at play here. At the end of your turn, if you have Blackwing Aerial Attacker in bot mode on the battlefield or in your KO area, you may scrap 3 cards from your hand. If you do, combine Dreadwind and Blackwing into Dreadwing Sky Destroyer. Well, when you combine up, as with all combiners, you untap. So does the untapping happen before the end of turn? Do they happen in a sequence of the active player's choice? Or does the untapping of all characters happen even before this? The answer is that characters untap before the end of turn step, so both players will untap all their characters, then you would combine Dreadwing, and then it would be your opponent's turn. You untap before end of turn, so everybody's characters untap. This is of course in the scenario where all characters are tapped at the end of a turn, and then you would combine after all the untapping stuff had happened. Cool. Now, in a previous rules roundup, there was a question about playing Brainstorm, letting you play 2 actions, and then playing Ancient Wisdom, which allows you to play Unleash Potential, and then playing System Reboot. And essentially, the question was, if you drew Unleash Potential off of System Reboot, would you then be able to play it? And the answer is no. When you play Ancient Wisdom, you have to then immediately play Unleash Potential. You cannot play something like System Reboot and then come back to it. Ancient Wisdom doesn't let you play Unleash Potential at some point during your turn. It lets you play it right now. Okay, so with all of that borne in mind, how does this work with Tech Research? So Tech Research reads, it's a blank card, right? It does nothing. But there are cards like Superior Plating, for instance, which give you tough 4, but can only be played if you've played a Tech Research during this turn. Well, it's completely different. So let's say you play Brainstorm, then play Tech Research, then you play System Reboot, and end up drawing into Superior Plating. Can you play it then? And the answer is yes. And the difference is, Ancient Wisdom lets you play Unleash Potential now. The card reads, you may play it. Whereas Superior Plating reads, only if you've played Tech Research this turn. But it doesn't matter when this turn you've played it. As long as you've played it at some point during this turn, that will be enough. There is no issue playing extra cards between Tech Research and the Superior upgrades. Yay! Along a similar line, when you play Ancient Wisdom, does that allow you to play one Unleash Potential, or does it allow you to play Unleash Potential as you like? The answer is, every Ancient Wisdom lets you play a single Unleash Potential, but Tech Research does not limit the amount of upgrades you're allowed to attach. Now, generally speaking, it's still one upgrade per turn, so you'd have to have another mechanic that let you attach an extra upgrade here. But in theory, you could just keep going. Again, because Ancient Wisdom says you may play Unleash Potential, it means one. Whereas the Superior upgrades just say, oh, have you played a Tech Research at some point this turn? So, Torox in Alt Mode. Now, Torox in Alt Mode stops your opponent repairing characters. And apologies for me, in a recent video, I mentioned that there was a character that stopped you repairing, and this was completely new. That is, of course, false. Torox got there first. My apologies. What happens if you then play I Still Function? Because I Still Function brings a character back from your KO area, and then you repair 1 damage from it, and it gets KO'd at the end of your turn. So if Torox is on the field, can you play I Still Function? And the answer is, you can play I Still Function, but you can't repair. So what happens is, you play I Still Function, you bring the character back with damage equal to its health, you go to repair 1 damage, but Torox goes, sorry mate, no repairing for you. And then you go, oh, I've got a character on my field with damage equal to its health. Yeah, it gets KO'd immediately. Bye. You can play I Still Function, but unfortunately the character gets KO'd immediately. Now, this wasn't in the rules roundup. I'm adding this myself. But this would still work with something like Captain Alita 1, for instance. Because when Captain Alita 1 is KO'd, you get to essentially scrap and then play the top 2 cards of your deck. You're still bringing her back. She then just gets KO'd immediately. I believe that would work. That was not in the official ruling. I just wanted to try and give an example of a card that would work with I Still Function, given that when Torox is out, it becomes less good. So how about things like Escape Route? Escape Route comes along and it allows you to flip one of your characters from bot mode to alt mode. Now, it's good for flipping and it's got a green icon so you can find it, but it only lets you go from bot to alt, i.e. it doesn't allow you to go into bot mode, which combiners really want to combine that little bit faster. Can you use this to, for instance, swap a triple changer from one alt mode to the other? So let's take Captain Astro Train as an example. Can you flip from spaceship to train or back using this? And the answer is no. The card lets you flip from bot mode to alt mode. You cannot flip between alt modes. What about Heroism? Heroism came around in Wave 1. It is a lovely little upgrade utility. If any of your characters would take attack damage, the upgraded character takes it instead. And then you play Take Cover. Now, Take Cover is a secret action. You reveal it if one or more of your characters would take non-attack damage, and instead your characters cannot take non-attack damage during the turn. When your opponent goes to attack, and the attack damage is transferred to the character with heroism, is this attack damage? Yes. So Take Cover would do nothing. This can be compared with damage from Steamroll, whereby extra damage above what was needed to get a KO, is then transferred to another character. The difference is Steamroll is extra damage that wasn't needed to KO, whereas with Take Cover here, we're talking just about attack damage. It's been redirected, but it is still just ordinary attack damage. And finally, Infiltrate. One of these cards that comes up a lot in the rules roundups. You reveal it when your opponent plays an orange action, and when it's revealed, you scrap the action, and it does nothing. If you've got it face down on the table and your opponent plays a secret action, let's say, for instance, Bolster, which has an orange icon, or indeed any secret action with an orange icon, can you use Infiltrate to try and get rid of it? And the answer is no. Because even though it is a specific secret action, I mean, the clue's in the name for this, right? It is a secret action. We don't know what kind of icon it has, and we've seen this in a couple of rulings. Secret actions are basically treated as blank cards until they are revealed, and for that reason, even if your opponent plays a secret action, and even though it has an orange icon, it is treated as having no icon, so Infiltrate won't work. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, another lovely rules roundup, my friends at the Transformers trading card game, hopefully illuminating, hopefully everything you dreamed of and just a little bit more. But at this stage, I'd like to know what you think about all of these rulings and whether you've got any questions yourself, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about Transformers and a whole bunch of other games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.